Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to learn how to make a tiered shirt dress. So I have not added buttons to this, but you can see that the dress is beautiful. So I used 3 yards of fabric. I used a crepe material for this, and it is by 60. If you want to make it fuller, you will need 4 yards. So right now we are going to do the cutting and the sewing, and I will use a very simple method. This style looks simple but not too simple. So first of all, draft a normal A-line dress, mark your neckline, then you will start dividing the A-line according to how many tiers you want this dress to have. So the first tier started at 8 inches, the second one started at 18 inches, that is 1 inch below her half length. So you also go ahead and mark and divide the rest of the gown. It depends on how many tiers or how many steps you want your own gown to have. So after marking this, I will go ahead and rule the lines, and after ruling the lines I will cut out everything. So after ruling this line, I will advise you to label them. I labeled first, second, third, and the down one I labeled it as the last. So this is the only pattern that we use. I will not draft a back pattern. I will use this pattern to cut out the whole gown. It is okay for me. So I'll go ahead and divide all these tiers, the first, the second, the third, and I'll also label this last one. I'll label it as last. So right now I'll go ahead and keep them aside. So first of all, I will cut out the first one. This is the fabric that I will be using. I will fold my fabric and I will cut out the first step. Remember, you using this pattern, I will cut out the front part of this gown and the back part of the gown. So I will fold and I will cut out the front part first of all. This is a shirt dress, right? But I did not add any button allowance to it for now. Do not add a button allowance so that it will be very easy for you. So I'll add half an inch around that area where I divided these tiers from. Add half an inch for seam allowance, because you will use this half an inch to join the first and the second tier together. So this is the front. The neckline is 3 by 3, and I will not open it. It is a shirt dress, right? But for now I don't want to open this front part. So I'll also go ahead and fold for the first tier of the back, for this first step of the back. So the back will be closed, the button will be at the front, so the back will be closed. It will not have any opening. So the neckline, I will make it 3 by 1.5. The wideness is 3, the wideness is 3 inches, the depth will be 1.5. So this is for the back. I told you guys that we use this pattern paper to cut both the front and the back. This step is easier. So I have the front and I have the back. So I am done with step 1. The second thing that I will do right now is to cut out the step 2. You can see that I did not open the zipper allowance, the button allowance for now. So I will cut out the step 2. So I am folding my fabric. I will fold into 4. Remember that this step 2, some parts of the armhole entered the step 2. So I will fold this fabric twice. I've done my first folding, I will fold again, then I will place my second step, the second pattern on it, and the armhole part should be close to the side, like it should be close to where the opening will be. Then remember to add your half an inch seam allowance at the down part. So if you have enough fabric, you can make this to be longer than this. You can make it to be longer so that when you gather it, it will be very full. But this one is okay. So it's just like 2 times of your pattern. So right now I will open this up. This is the second step. you can see that some parts of the armhole entered it. So I will join one to the front part and I will join the other one to the second part. I will do that now before cutting the rest of the tear so that we will not get confused. I will be cutting and I will be joining step by step so that we will not get confused. So I will go ahead and join this to the front and I'll also join the other one to the back. So that is it for now. So after joining, I will show you guys. So this is what I have after joining. Here is for the back. You can see that the gather is not much. It is okay. In order to save fabric, this first step is okay. The gathers on the first step is okay. So for the front, you can see what I have. So right now I'll open my button allowance. After joining that first, the second tier, you open your button allowance because the armhole shape is out already. So right now I will cut out the step 3, the third tier. So I will fold my fabric. This fabric has a pattern, so I am actually following the pattern. I want the pattern to be in a horizontal manner, but if you're working with a plain fabric that does not have any pattern, you are free to cut from any side you want. So I am following my pattern and I will fold. So this one is 60 inches long. This one that I'm cutting now is 60 inches long and it is on fold, one for the front part, one for the back part. So you can see I have placed my third step on it so that I will know the wideness of this fabric that I'm cutting out now. You can make your length from 60 or from 40, it depends, but I made mine 60. Then I placed my pattern paper on it. So right now I will cut out and I will add half an inch at the top and at the down part of this pattern paper. Remember, we will join this to the second step and I'll also join the fourth step to this third step. So add half an inch on both sides of this pattern. So after this, remember I have 2 here, one for the front, one for the back. So the one for the front, I will fold it and I will divide it into 2 because of the button allowance. I will divide the one for the front into 2. So you can see this is our gown. It is taking shape. I have joined the first and the second. So here is the third. So I divided one into 2, one for the right side and one for the left side of the front part. Then the other one, I will join it to the back. So you can see what I have right here. This is for the front. So the remaining one, I will join it to the back. So after joining that, I will come back and cut our fourth step. You can see I am taking it gradually so that I will not get confused. We have joined the first, we have joined the second, and now the third. So I'll go ahead and gather this on the second step and I'll show you guys. So this is what I have for now. This is what I have for now. It is remaining the fourth step. So for now, I will go ahead and close the side. The first step will not have any joining at the side. We have gotten the shape we want for the armhole. So we can now go ahead and close the side of this gown. This is the gown from the front. So I'll go ahead and turn the back of the gown so that you guys can see what the gown looks like from the back. So here is the back. You can see our first step, our second, and our third. So right now I will go ahead and cut out my fourth step or the last step of this. So you can see I have closed the side of this gown. I am done closing the side of the gown. So the first step will just have a straight long gather. It will not have any joining. So here is the fabric for the last part. You can see I folded into 2. Remember, this last will be longer than the third. The second is longer than the first, the third is longer than the second, and this fourth will be longer than this last one will be longer than the third one. So right now I will add half an inch at the upper part of this last paper, and I'll also add 1 inch or 2 inches for folding. Remember, this is the down part of this gown, so add half an inch at the upper part and add like 2 inches or 1.5 inch for folding at the down part of this gown. So for this last paper, I will cut out my fabric 3 times. For the third one, I cut out 2 pieces, abi, just unfold. But this one, after cutting this one unfold, I'll go ahead and cut extra one. I'll add extra 60 inches to it, so that it will be 180 inches long. The second one is 120 inches long. This last one will be 180 inches long, so that it will be longer than the third one, so that when you gather, everything will align. So after cutting this, I will go ahead and join it to the third step of this gown, to the third tier of this gown. So this is the third pieces. I'm done cutting out 2. I want to use one of them to cut out another one to make it 180 inches. So after that, I will go ahead and join it to my gown. So first of all, you will join all of them together so that you have a very long piece, and you will fold the down part of the tier. So I'll go ahead and join to the third step, and that will be all. So this is what we have now. Our gown is ready. So I'll add a button allowance to this gown. Remember, I did not add a button allowance when I was cutting it. I will add a button allowance now. So what I will do is that I will cut out a piece. The piece will be 2 inches wide or 2.5. It depends on how wide you want your button allowance to be. So I want to make this one 3 inches, so that after folding, I will have 2 inches, because I will use half an inch to join it to the front and to the back. So I'll go ahead and cut out 3 inches long piece for my button allowance. I will cut out 2, one for the right side and one for the other side of the gown. So I am done cutting out the pieces. I will use the remaining one for my sleeve. You can see I am folding it into 2 again, and I will use it for my sleeve, and that will be all for now. So after that, you fold your sleeve and add your elastic. Then you go ahead and add your button allowance. You add it the way we add a band, just add it straight down, and that is it. So I am done doing that now. You can see I have added my sleeve and I have added my button allowance. You can see what we have right here. So for the collar, I want to add just a simple standing collar to it. I don't want to add this normal 2-piece collar. So I'll go ahead and measure my round neck. After adding your button allowance, you will now measure your round neck. So whatever you got, you go ahead and cut it out on your collar, and you go ahead and join that to your gown, and that will be all. So I'll go ahead and cut out my collar, and I will add that to our gown. So guys, we are currently launching our physical trainings will start on January 2023. So if you want to register with us, with our fashion school, just kindly DM me. Just send this message to me on Instagram at sewwithijoma. So here is the final look of our dress, and it is fine. So you can iron it very well now and open your button allowance and then add your button. So thank you guys for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. See you all in my next video. Bye.